What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and I wanted to do a quick commentary style video on our boy Phil's podcast from yesterday, where he had this segment where it went on for about 25 minutes, and he was coping and seething about the detractors as always. But a good portion of that was focused on June the King and the upcoming 4-hour documentary about our boy Phil. And he's been doing this. He's been doing this. You hear it every so often on his podcast where he mentions June the King's documentary. He talks about, he kind of retcons what happened in his past days, especially around Street Fighter and SRK forums. You're hearing it, you've heard a little about it, but it seems like it's going to get ramped up because it seems like Phil got wind that the June the King documentary is going to be coming out in about 2 weeks. And I think after doing the Review Tech USA documentary and seeing all of the negativity surrounding Rich after this documentary, I think it's setting in that he's next. And there's no worse feeling than knowing you're next. You're next, buddy. You're gonna take your time in the spotlight is coming. And I'm telling you now, folks, people that are not in the vortex, that don't care much about Phil or the drama, they're going to watch this. I've talked to several individuals, pretty good sized channels, that they really don't cover Phil, don't care much about him, and they're going to be covering this. They're like, yep, I'm covering this. I want to know more about Phil, and these June documentaries are pretty insightful. So you got people like Mutahard, you got people like Locale Live, you got Medicare, you got huge content creators that delve in the drama that are going to be reviewing this documentary, and it's going to be a firestorm for Phil, and he knows it, and that's why he's coping. But yesterday's cope was really interesting because it came off the heel of a huge W for Phil. I mean, Phil had a huge W on Sunday with the Kino guys, where he almost made 4K in donations. And you would think he would focus on the positivity, right? No, he has to focus on the negative. He has to dwell on detractors. And then, of course, he has to focus on the June the King documentary. And we all know why. He knows, just like we know, that it's going to be a disaster for him. And what worries him, of course, is that this newfound love and support and collaboration with the Kino folks is going to go bye-bye. And what he doesn't realize is he's a useful idiot. He's a useful idiot. He's just a tool that's being used to annoy someone else, which is of course Rich. And he doesn't see that. He thinks this is some newfound friendship, and it's gonna bring him back. As Phil called it yesterday, the renaissance of DSP. He's worried that the June the King documentary is gonna put an end to it. It's gonna end anyway, but the June the King documentary may accelerate it. And you think last year's story arc was bad? Wait till June the King documentary comes out. So real quick, I want to play these clips from Phil where you can hear him coping, and I want to provide some commentary. So let's do this.
Everyone's succeeding. I mean, this is amazing, right? This is all amazing. And the only thing right now that's putting a damper. The only thing that's dampening, the only thing that's bringing this down, there's a word, I can't think of the word because I'm stupid. There's something that's nagging me in the back of my head, and I think you guys know what it is. It's the upcoming June the King documentary on me. Because it's 4 hours long. This thing's going to be insane. This thing's going to be so in-depth that it's going to cover every little thing that I've done over the years. 4 hours. Can you imagine how much is going to be squeezed into that react? And the funny part is, people are already saying, Phil, are you going to do a co-op commentary on your own React with Kino Casino? It's literally not even feasible. It's 4 hours long. For me to just comment on it, take a look. 1.5 Rich documentary. It took us over 4 hours to get through it. 4-hour documentary, no exaggeration. That's probably going to be like a 10-hour React, if not longer. So just so you guys know, because many of you I know, again, are new. You've only just started coming by in the past couple of weeks. The way that I'm planning to tackle my own documentary is I can't sacrifice all of my normal content for the React. I know a lot of people want me to. They're like, dude, clear your schedule. When your documentary comes out, just react to it for 3 days straight. You got to understand something. I'm here because of my core audience, the people who have supported me day in, day out for 16 years. They want to see me play all the new hot releases coming out, and it starts in just a week. In 1 week is Black Myth Wukong. Right after that, there's Star Wars Outlaws. There's the upcoming Black Ops 6 beta. And the cool thing about the beta is I have a gaming PC to play it on now at 120 hertz, and people want to see me play it and see how it performs, but see how I do now. This is all stuff my audience has been hotly anticipating. Okay?
Oh my lord. Okay, so that's the first piece of cope here. It sounds more like more of an excuse for why Phil can't do the documentary. And he has to do the documentary. He knows that some of his whales will whale out and give him some money for it. But most of all, if he doesn't, people are going to question him and say, why aren't you reviewing your documentary? What the hell's going on? What are you so scared of? And his chat's just going to bombard him with questions, comments about the documentary. So he has to address it. There's no way he's gonna not address it. The other issue that he's having here, and he knows this, he knows that this will not fly, is he's planning to skip certain sections of it. His financial shit, he's going to skip the WWE champions, and for the most part, I think he's going to skip the Panda Lee section. Or he'll skip around it and just really give a brief comment about it, but he won't stay on that Panda Lee thing. Unless there's something in there that's very egregious. Where say Joon got an interview with Panda Lee, or he got some receipts showing that something was very funny there, aka the whole grooming thing. Anyway, but besides that, I don't think he's really going to touch on that. He's going to just very high level. The fact that he's planning on skipping the whole financial arc stuff, the bankruptcy arc, and he's going to skip the WWE champions, he can't do that. He can't. He can't, because if he doesn't address it, people are going to assume what they said was true in the documentary, and he's just avoiding it. And me and other content creators are going to focus on that. I'm going to react to the documentary, and then I'm going to react to Phil's reaction because I want to hear what he has to say. And of course, a lot of it will just be retcon and cope. But he's already given you an excuse here of why he's not going to do the full documentary. He isn't. He's going to blame his dents for not being able to do the full thing because, of course, they want him to play some Wukong and Call of Duty. Who cares, Phil? Who cares? You talk about trying to expand your viewership and do different things. This is it. And the mere fact, and this is what pisses me off about Phil, because he thinks people are stupid. Phil, you have a whole React channel. You have a whole React day. Sunday is React day, where you react to clips and then you do throwback. How about you just avoid all that? You tell everyone in your chat that says, I'm not doing React this week. I'm not doing the React to throwback. What I'm going to react to is Joon the King documentary. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm pretty sure that everyone in your chat would be fine with it. Everyone that gave you money for membership or whatever, that submitted clips, they would be perfectly fine if you were to react to the whole thing. That's 7 hours right there, Phil, that you have to react to your document. So don't give me this bullshit that you don't have time and that you can't sacrifice your gameplay to react to this. That's lame. That's lame, Phil. That's not going to be a valid excuse. And if you do that, people are going to call you out on it. I'm going to call you out on it. I'm pretty sure the whole Detractiverse will. But anyway, that was the first piece of cope that I enjoy listening to, because you can just hear it in his voice that he's stressed out. This man is stressed out about this document because I really think he knows what's going to be in it. He knows that a lot of the stuff that's in it is going to contradict a lot of shit that he said. It is. This whole stuff about talking to the Cannon brothers about netcode and how they told him that, yeah, he was right. The netcode doesn't work. They're just trying to sell it. All this nonsense, lies that he's regurgitated for years, that's going to come out and blow up in his face. And there's nothing he's going to be able to say to contradict it. He's either going to have to say Joon's lying, or he's going to have to admit and say, yeah, I made mistakes. I'm not that same person. Let's move. Or the thing he'll use a lot is, That's old news. I'm a different person. You know, I'm new. That's all stupid. Why are we talking about this? That's the excuse he's probably going to use to counter that criticism. Okay, this next piece is actually the best piece that I wanted to react to. It's Phil coping and seething hard, and he actually admits the truth. He admits the truth that the real reason he's concerned about June the King's documentary is he's afraid all of this support, all of this newfound love is going to go bye-bye. And he's so oblivious that he doesn't know that it's going to go bye-bye regardless. But anyway, let's hear Phil cope for a good, I'd say probably 5 minutes.
So yeah, so that's coming, and that's the truth. The one thing that's dampening, I keep saying dampening, that's not the word. Bringing me down. What's the word for if you're getting brought down? Like it's kind of like putting the kibosh on the fun. I can't think of what the word is. I don't know. I'm sure someone's gonna say it in the chat, and I'm gonna feel stupid because I can't think of it. But the only thing that's bringing me down right now is this impending documentary. Yeah, I guess looming. That's a good word for it. It's a looming documentary. You know, because I know for a fact when this comes out, there's shit that I've done over the years that, number one, no one's really talked about in a documentary. My Street Fighter years and shit, nobody knows about that. And they're going to see that and they're going to be like, wow, he was an asshole. Now, I think a lot of people will just laugh about it. But the thing is, you're dredging up stuff that literally is so outdated, has nothing to do with who I am. And that was pre-YouTube. That was a life ago, right? And I've already apologized out my ass about it, saying I really regret how I acted back then. The other thing, the other part of it, is going to be dredging up things about my ex, which, again, that's another past part of my life that I don't even talk about her for a good reason, because I'm past that. I'm happily married, and having to bring up stuff about my ex and stuff, and you know it's going to be a big part of the documentary, because when I was with my ex, that was a lot of reasons why a lot of people started to hate on me. They said that I changed, and instead I was making content with her, and my content was changing. They didn't like that. They didn't like her and her personality, right? It was a big thing, and I know that that's going to be something that we have to now drag through the mud again. I don't want to drag that through the mud again, but we have to. We have to go there, right? That's part of my history. And like I said, the last several years with this stupid financial shit and bankruptcy shit and mobile game shit, I'm so exhausted with it already. I'm completely exhausted. Because here's the thing. You want to talk about my Street Fighter days? No one's really talked about it yet. For me, that'll actually be kind of refreshing to talk about something new from my past and try to give my perspective and clear the air about certain things. That's new content to cover, right? But to have to go through the dirty laundry of my ex and talk about this shit about finances and shit I've already talked about a million times, right? It's going to be incredibly stressful. It's going to be draining. I'm going to feel like a fighter who's already gone 10 rounds. And now they said, oh, by the way, time for another 10 fucking bonus rounds. Even though you got through it, the fight continues. Like, when does the fight end, right? When does my time to stop having to respond to this fucking toxic shit about me end? When can I just enjoy my life? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, why do I have to constantly keep responding to the toxicity, negativity, and the dumb shit people say about me? Why can't I just say, hey, let's talk about today and the future? Because it's all that shit's in the past. I'm not, all that stuff. Just forget it all. You know what I'm saying? But no, we've got to do it again. We're doing it again. We're going through it again. And everyone's going to want to see me react to this documentary. Everyone. It's like the biggest thing right now is that because I just did the rich one. Now everyone wants to see me react to my own. It's a lot. Let me put it this way. It's a lot of pressure. Okay. And usually pressure's not a big deal for me. But in this case, it's going to be. I'm tired of being beat up. I really am. Like, I'm getting too old for it now. Where I don't care about it. So that's why I don't talk about it. But now I have to talk about it again. Again. The millionth fucking time. I had enough of it. But I'm going to do it. Or I'm going to man up and I'm going to do it. But I know it's just going to be so stressful. Plus, I'm going to be playing new challenging video games in the first stream. And then I have to come get beat up on my late stream every day. And yes, can I be honest? I'm afraid. Why am I afraid? Because I now have a group of people who have newfound interest and respect for me. But what's to say? I've learned over the years that kind of stuff is very fleeting. All right? At moments notice, something can happen, and boom. Now the popular thing is to crap on you, right? And so I look at this as a situation where now things are going well, but in just a couple of weeks when my own documentary comes out, it could completely flip on its head again. You know, people see this documentary and there's something in it that really irks them the wrong way, and it's 4 hours, so it's going to be hard for you to not find something in the documentary that you hate about me, because it's 4 hours long. It's literally going to cover everything bad about me and my history. So there's going to be shit in there that pisses everybody off. I can't believe he did that. I never knew he did that. I'm out here. I can't watch him anymore. I'm so disgusted with this man, right? But it doesn't mean that that's representative of who I am, you know, now. But that doesn't mean anyone will care. But on the internet, everything's absolute. Everything's black and white. If you were bad once, you're bad now, right? So, you know, it's just very frustrating because I'm having such a good time now, but I can't fully enjoy it. I'm being honest with you guys right now. I'm trying to be like really open with you. I can't really fully enjoy this right now because I have this eating feeling. What's eating Gilbert Grape, right? What's eating at him? I have a feeling that the end of this month, this documentary is going to come out, and a lot of the people who are like, oh, this is great, are going to be like, wow, that guy actually was a piece of shit. Now it's fun to shit on Phil again. This was the ultimate redemption story, but it's even better now because the redemption story is canceled because his documentary is so bad. Fuck that guy. Let's shit on him again. And I don't want to deal with it. I don't. Because I'll tell you right now, if that happens, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to be doing any kind of collabs or anything. And I'm not saying the Kino Casino guys are going to turn on me or anything. Who knows what's going to happen, right? But I'm done with it. I will shut myself off to the possibility of doing work with other people, and I'll just sit here and do my own content forever. Like a little hermit on a fucking island. I don't care, because I've had enough of it. I really have had enough of this bullshit, of everyone shitting on me. And I'm not going to even put up with it anymore. It's going to be a flat out, I don't want to hear about anyone else, about other people's content, nothing. I don't want to hear about what anyone said about me. I don't want to hear about this guy, that guy, nothing, right? Right now, it's good because everyone's saying good things about me. But it could change in 2 weeks. And if that's the case and we go back to the whole bullshit, and yeah, I know it's paranoia, because people are saying in the chat, listen, not paranoia. Yes, that's actually exactly the description of it. A good description is paranoia, but it's very well justified paranoia. This has happened to me many times. You understand? And so, will this be time number 10 when I try to trust people, when I try to you know, open up to do new things, and then all of a sudden it just blows up in my fucking face for the millionth time? Phil's a piece of shit. Everyone crap on him, crap on his business, crap on his family, crap on everything. You know, I can't take it anymore. So that'll be it. If that's actually what happens as a result of this documentary, I'm done. I'm not quitting content. I'm just not going to be doing anything outside of just making content for me and my little core audience. That'll be it. You know, right now I'm enjoying branching out. I'm enjoying being on their show, having them on my show, I started clipping my content. I'm trying to be different, right? I'm not going to put up with it anymore. I can't. You know, you reach your limit. Everyone has a limit, right? Everyone has a limit. And that's my limit. If this is it, if it turns into the DSP shit show number 4,722, that's going to be the last shit show. Because I'm not going to give anyone else any more content to fuck with. I'm just not going to bother. Understand? But that's how I'm feeling right now. Like, I really am enjoying the ride, but I'm worried that it's all going to change in 2 weeks. So I basically had 1 month to be happy with how things were going, and then it's right back to being the internet's whipping boy, you know?
Wow. Your boy Duty is speechless. And that's difficult for Duty. It's difficult for Duty to be speechless when you hear there's so much to unpack in that 9-minute clip. And I let it run because I wanted you to hear Phil in his glory, in his own words, stressing out over the Joon the King documentary. That's right. And why is he stressing out? Well, like I said, and he said himself, he's worried that this documentary is going to expose him to a wider audience, especially now with the Kino folks, other people that are checking in, the Local Live podcast, which gets big numbers and they know who Phil is, and you know Keem's gonna make this a big thing. All of those folks are going to jump on this 4-hour podcast, and they're gonna have days and days full of content to react to. They are. Because even after reacting to it initially, there's going to be other stuff you're going to find that you're going to say, oh my God, wait a minute, that's something new. So you're going to see clips, videos, react streams, the detractors, mainstream streamers are going to comment on this and use this for content. And Phil knows this. And what worries him the most, he's worried that his newfound friends, he's worried that the newfound money that's coming into his coffers, that's all going to dry up and go away. It is. And he's going to be relegated to streaming to 200 people again, his dents. If you watch his content yesterday, if you watch the react content, that's Phil's core audience. Those are his people. That's what he was streaming to before, and he's going to after the whole Kino arc goes away. And he knows this, and I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to garner some sympathy. Because I think with the Review Tech USA react that he did, it exposed him. Like it brought him into another light where he said, oh, okay. People said, oh, okay, I get it. You like drama content. You like reacting. You like crapping on people. You like making fun of people. Okay, your turn, Phil. And that's what happens. Like, it's really interesting because I detract on Phil. And every so often I get negativity. I get comments. I get big streamers that talk about me. They don't understand why I do what I do. They call me a detractor. The Kino folks are in my comment section dropping comments that I've been felted. I'm coping. It's all good. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the greatest feeling when you have a huge content creator dumping on you. But I put myself out there. I make content. I react. I detract against this pig roach. So I expose myself. I leave myself open to criticism. And that's fine. You know, it's perfectly fine with me. That's why I don't trash people. That's why I allow people to comment, and I don't block people or delete people unless you're being like really egregious. Like if you're saying some racist crap and you're just breaking terms of service, I don't want my channel to get in trouble, so that'll get removed. And usually YouTube removes that anyway. But for the most part, if you're gonna just dump on me, I don't care. Go ahead, man. You have every right to dump on me. I'm not gonna, lose sleep over it or start yelling at people because people don't like me. I know a lot of people don't like me. It's perfectly fine. But again, Phil, if you want to stream and you want to make money and you want to make a living off of the internet, that's what comes with it. And sadly for you, Phil, this 4-hour documentary is going to come and smash you like a ton of bricks. It is. And even you know it, and that's why you're coping. You're coping for a 25-minute segment against detractors and against Joon the King. It is. And I'm going to love to hear what he has to say about Joon the King, because you know he praises Joon the King all the time. He says how he's a great content creator, how he's fair, how he just reports the information. Let's see when he publishes something in that documentary contradicting something you've said over and over again. Let's see what you have to say. Let's see if you're going to say Joon's a liar. You'll probably say, well, he's misinformed, or he didn't get the full truth. He has a nugget of truth. Oh my God. That 4-hour documentary, when Phil reacts to it, we're going to have to play bingo. I'm not taking King Jad's thing, but we may have to do a semi sort of bingo and see how many times he says nugget of truth, or partly right, or that's all he's going to have to say. You know, and of course, like Phil does, I like when he reacted to the John and Howard video, he would hang on the slightest, stupidest thing that they said, and he would make that the argument. Instead of focusing on the content of the video and why they dislike him, he took one little aspect of it where they said something like, oh, well, yeah, you know, I asked him for this, and he said, what? No, that's a lie. That's not true. And then he made that the focal point. He made that little aspect the focal point instead of looking at the entire piece. Yeah, 100% of the document isn't going to be right. There's going to be stuff in there that will be wrong and Phil will have an excuse for. But I'm pretty sure that 95 to 96% of it is just going to be truth, Phil. And there's no denying it. Unless you have proof to show that that's not true, then you can't argue about it. You either ignore it or you try to claim that it's a lie with no proof. Just like WWE champions. If you're gonna sit here and say, I'm not gonna show any proof because it's gonna hurt my family, then it's true. And it's true. Because everyone knows you're not going to hurt your family by showing your phone screen, which you've done thousands of times with your WWE champion screen and your name, and show when you created it. Because I think he created a secondary account and he's been playing a little bit with it just to kind of up the money up there. And one day he may do a review and say, "Look, folks, this is my real account. I'm not down from the rafters. I'm Pig Roach, Pig Roach 420 or whatever." That's what he's gonna do one day. But of course, when he does that, he's gonna expose himself, and people are gonna say, "Okay, show us the day you created the account." And that date's not gonna be 2017 when he started playing WWE Champion. Anyway, folks, that's all I have. The cope is on. Let's move on to the Joon the King documentary, because that's a count on for that. And yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to stream. I'm going to talk more about the Joon the King documentary, my plans. And yeah, so that's all I have, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.